Hell yeah. All right. Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, we need a staple gun.
Steve, we need a staple gun. Or just take it off.
Or just put it down on the ground.
Put it at the bottom of the stairs.
Addition to the U.S. team. So a lot of amazing athletes competing there tonight in speed. So tune in for everyone just joining us, and this is going to be a great final. As you can see, the speed wall and lead wall at the newest USA Climbing Training Center here in Salt Lake City.
All right. USA Climbing Training Center, Salt Lake City. Folks at home, how are we doing today? Come on, make some noise. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to the North American Cup Series Speed Final. We're going to be starting with the women. All right, we got our top 16 from earlier qualifier. Starting us off, please give it up for Emma Hunt and May Kim.
So we have Emma Hunt, the U.S. national record holder, vice world champion, Bern 2023, and May Kim, competing against her in 16th place. Going to be a tough round for May. Obviously, being 16th place is the hardest to race the fastest athlete, especially someone as fast and as consistent as Emma. But it'll be a good race nonetheless. Emma with quite the specific routine, using those footies on those Evolve Defies. Been working with them for several years now. A bit of some custom shoes that they do through their reselling company, Yosemite Bum. So great performance modifications from them.
Ready.
Off to a good start. Emma with that Tomoa skip, one of the first women to start doing it now. And we have a 6.955 seconds, slightly sub-7 run, good run for her, and make him with a 10.409. We'll be advancing to the next round. Emma just recently changed, she's not one of the first women, but she just recently changed the Tomoa skip after for a long time not doing it, and it's made her a lot faster. So looking forward to the progress she makes soon. We have our next race here. See the 2 and 15. First Canadian athlete out here. Again, this is a North American Cup, so we have nations from the IFSC Pan American Council is how the athletes are invited, but they have some other athletes such as in the men's category competing from South Africa. So it's been almost like some athletes can just apply to go in and they'll be given a start.
Ready.
So our second race is off to the start, and seems quite close actually now. And we'll see. Wow. Quite the close race. 9.4440 and 9.36. Both of the athletes with a 2.99 and a 2.29. So quite the close one, almost decided by that reaction time. So the reaction time is the time in which they get off the ground. So in order for, in speed climbing, something to be not considered a false start, you have to get off of the ground in above 0.1 seconds. So athletes can be slower or faster off the ground, and if someone has a 0.2, they're 0.2 slower than the beep actually went off, but 0.1 faster than the 0.1 required to not be a false start. And another thing, on the right we have Grace Kelly, a Australian athlete that lives in Salt Lake City, lives and trains here several times. They're quite a good friend.
Ready.
We'll see. Oh, and a fall from Grace. No pun intended there. Wow, that was quite the upset for the first round. And Grace might be quite disappointed with that. They're one of Albert Oak's athletes as well, my coach. But that's all right. We go to the next women's race. So we have Lillian and Claire Pete from also another athlete from Dallas, from the Team Texas crew. Lily from Atlanta Stone Summit. Stone Summit's got a great coach, Alexi. One of the best speed coaches in the entire country. Worked with him a bit. Claire works with Merritt as well over in Texas. Come out of that great system in Dallas, where I am from.
Ready?
But quite the crowd here, and cheering their athletes on as we see Lily coast to a 9.305 seconds with Claire with a 9.561. Quite the good time for her. She should be happy with her performance there, but Lily will advance to the next round. And also give a quick shout out to the technology kind of used in speed climbing. We have different kind of shoes that are more meant for speed climbing, different harnesses that are lighter and give more mobility. And some people use knee pads, some people use other things like that to protect themselves as they hit the wall. Piper, you can see, is using a towel to wipe off her feet before then, so that she has a less chance of slipping because of grease between where she starts and when she gets on the wall. Piper Kelly, an Olympian, qualified as the champion of Pan America last year in Santiago, and she'll be joining me in Paris this August. Isabel on the right, Piper on the left. Let's see. Piper off to a good start. Her PB in practice is 6.7. Let's see if she can get close to that in competition. I know that's one of her goals for the season. And more chill race for the first one, running a 7.72. Isabel with a 10.056. Both the athletes with good reaction times, so they should both be pleased, especially for some of the younger athletes at this event, going to the North American Cup Series for the first time, wanting to get on the World Cup circuit. It's a great segue. So every athlete should be happy with their performance right now. Next up we have Michaela and Caitlin. And Caitlin, another athlete coached by Albert Oak. It's got a very good crew there, looking to try and break into the scene. Michaela as well, quite the young athlete, I believe 17, maybe 18.
At your mark.
Crowd gets quite quiet. Caitlin off to a good start, looking a bit ahead. Michaela is catching up. This is one of our closer races for the first round and looks pretty neck and neck. And it'll end with a 9.359 versus a 9.489. Both good races. Quite the exceptional performance in the top half. If you look at a replay, Michaela had a bit of a slower start, but a better top half. Next up, we have Sarah and Sophia. Sophia, one of the national team members, winner of the team trials. Sarah from Austin, Texas, comes to train with me in Dallas sometimes. Quite the nice personality. Coach of Team Arret, I believe, down in Austin. Sophie next week will be attempting to make her first World Cup final. One of her goals for the season, I believe, and she has gotten a lot better through the season, training here, living in Salt Lake City now, moved from North Carolina. See, the crowd gets quite quiet before every speed race, one of the uniqueness of speed.
Ready?
And Sophie is off to quite the good start. She's using that Tomoa skip, and it just highlights how much better you can get when you do that beta. And she is having a great run with a 7.628 second finish. Quite the good performance from Sophie Curcio. Sarah with a 10.114 second. Quite the good lap for her still. Again, for the North American Cup Series, a lot of these athletes just kind of want to go and do their best and learn as they try to transition towards that World Cup circuit type of competition. So again, good performance from Sarah. Next up we have Caitlin Bone and Maddie Walsh. Maddie, an athlete from Texas as well. Caitlin from Albuquerque, New Mexico, now living in Denver. Katie had quite the saga of events after tearing her ACL and went through a full recovery, and now she is on the national team and going to most of the World Cup events, so she's had an incredible journey. Maddie making good moves in practice and is looking to try and have a better competition resume to try and push onto that national team.
Ready?
Katie with quite the good start, and a slip from Maddie. Can Katie finish it out and advance? And it looks like she will with an 8.21. Good time for her. Maddie, even with that slip and the 3:08 reaction time, so remember that basically adds another 0.2 to her time. Still running a 9.6 is quite impressive for her, especially with that slip at the bottom as well. So quite the good performance from Maddie Walsh as well. Next up, we have Albert Oak and Zachary Hammer. Albert, my coach, still trying to do a competition resume. One of the most passionate climbers in the community, incredible staple. Zach Hammer, up-and-coming athlete that will be going to the Olympic qualifier series and the World Cup, looking to try and get the final male spot for Paris 2024. There can be one more male, and then Piper Kelly and Emma Hunt are already qualified for America in speed. So one more male between John Bosler, Noah Bracci, and this man right here, Zachary Hammer, to try and join me in Paris this August. Zach uses that towel and the heel walk to keep the dirt off his shoes. And we see Zach get off to a good start. Great start. Let's see if he can get a better time. And a 5.379 from Zachary Hammer. Bit of a slip from Albert Oak with an 8.136. Albert really pushing himself, especially in that 1:16 dynamic, is a bit hard. But again, Zach Hammer showing some incredible consistency going into the World Cup, trying to get that final, trying to win races, trying to be one of the better athletes. Joey Kim, another amazing person, shared a room together in Villar, user of the Evolve Defies, so that means he gets an extra second off his time. I'm kidding, but one of the better shoes out there. Logan Miner, also an athlete from Texas, great person, very electric personality on the left. So this might be quite the close race between the two of them. They have similar PBs in practice, I believe. I think Joey within the high sub-6 range, and Logan around that similar time. I think his personal best is a 5.6. So it'd be cool to see who can win this one. Logan using that towel to wipe off his feet, and Joey using his calves. Either one works.
Ready?
All right, so Logan off to a good start, and then a slip from both athletes, but Logan is looking to continue it, and we'll stop the clock at a 6.686 seconds to advance to the next round. Quite impressive from Logan to keep himself composed when both athletes had a slip at the beginning, and then it becomes a battle to who can compose themselves and finish the run. So great job from Logan Miner, and we'll see him in the next round. Next up, we have Ben Jennings on the left, another athlete, I believe, from the Midwest, and he is here in Salt Lake City, going to be moving to go to the University of Utah alongside myself in the fall. So very good for him. Jack Whitney on the right from Canada, one of our Canadian athletes, ran a 6.53 in the qualifiers to qualify in 13th. So see how that goes for him. Ben Jennings in an interesting starting position to line himself up and then swing. Athletes sometimes will swing to get extra momentum at the start. And let's see, Ben Jennings will close out the race in 6.156 seconds against the 7.045. Bit of a slip from Jack, but still a solid performance for one of his first competitions. What I was saying with the swing, athletes will move at the start to keep their foot on the buzzer, but be moving so that they can get a bit more momentum to do that first move. I find it's quite hard to do well, and you are risking a false start a lot of times when you are doing that. But it is, I would say, objectively the fastest way to do it, and it's definitely catching on through the higher echelons of speed climbing. Michael Hom on the left, another athlete from Sender One in Los Angeles. Quite the explosive athlete, youth world champion, youth national champion, and then open national champion last year. Quite the winner of an athlete. We'll see how he does both here and next week at the World Cup. PB of around 5.2 seconds, I believe, if I am not mistaken. Let's see if he can advance and battle some others in the final.
Ready?
We have Michael with a good start. Caden also on the right. Keeping up with him. Oh, and we have a slip, and Oh, one of our more interesting races this first round. Quite the many few slips and a close race with a 7.397 versus a 7.878 from Caden on the right. Quite the interesting one, and it circles back to when I said about athletes need to compose themselves after they slip, and whoever can do that better often is the winner of the race. So we saw that this round, and Michael Hummel will advance to see if he can have a more clean run the next round. Rafe Stokes on the left, one of the new U.S. team members, competed for the GB national team as a British citizen, but grew up in Dallas, Texas alongside myself through the Team Texas program. Incredible athlete. His PR is almost sub-5, and he will be looking to prove himself on the U.S. team and get more starts and be a full member of our national team this coming season, with the ultimate goal of the LA 2028 Olympics. So let's see if he can do that starting now. Rafe with quite a good start, bit of a slip, but a coasting run from Rafe Stokes. Incredible time. Slowed down a bit at the top for a 5.602 seconds. Cruising to the next round. Not many upsets for men our first round. Quite the interesting side on the women's, but pretty clear-cut bracket on the men's. Let's see if we have some upsets the next round or in the next few races. Nathan Rosales is an interesting climber who uses approach shoes to speed climb. Still, in my opinion, better than the La Sportiva 499, but an interesting choice from him. Logan Schlecht, a athlete out of LAX as well. Very strong athlete, quite young, I believe 16 years old. He might be 17. From LA. Nathan from San Diego in Mesa Rim.
Ready?
Nathan off to a great start. Whoa, he is moving. Oh, and a slip. And, oh, very close, but a twist off and a slip at the start from Nathan, causing a fall. What an incredible race. And you see that fist bump. The slide and the fist bump is quite one of the OG moves from speed climbing. Cool thing to do and a cool little coordination. Wow, Logan should be super proud of that race. Again, composing himself after a slip, and Nathan, after a good start, just had a bit of a slip at the top. Now we have Ethan Fordenheim on the right and Josh Burns. Josh Burns from South Africa, grew up in Great Britain, is going to Warwick University, I believe, out there in GB in England. A Paris 2024 qualified Olympian, African champion, so he'll be joining me in Paris as well. Ethan Fordenheim on the right, student at the U, collegiate national champion. So this will be a good one. PB is pretty similar. I believe Ethan has a 5.6 PR, and Josh has a 5.4 in practice. Look in the corner, you can see Emma doing a little dance. The left corner, one of her signature moves.
Ready?
And we see a quite close race with Josh pulling ahead right now, and incredibly clean run from Josh, but not super close to his PR with a 6.11 and a 6.814 with a bit of a slip from Ethan Fordenheim on the right. Still pretty solid run. Josh should be happy with that. Working on consistency going into Paris, and we see Aiden Goddard run out and put his towel down, wasting no time, wanting as much time as possible to set up his pad. Quite the interesting move. I also do that. If you watch me at a World Cup, I often will run out and put my towel down because sometimes there is a limit on how much time you can spend before you get a yellow card. So sometimes athletes will run out and try and do their full routine to do it. Aiden, a Salt Lake local. Matthew Baker on the right from Washington, D.C. And Matthew off to a great start over Aiden. Let's see who can pull it out in the top. And we have a quite close race with a 6.193 versus a 6.341. Great races from both of them. Incredible performances. Aiden lowering, taking his shoes off real quick. Really managing his lack of trying not to slip on this wall. Some athletes would say this wall is not up to the standard of the IFSC. I personally disagree. I think it's great. I love the fact that USA Climbing has set up this facility for the World Cup. I think sometimes it's better. Walls are better and worse and granulated, but I personally have had no time or had no issue with it, and think that world records can go down on this wall as they have before. So that'll be that. Now we have Emma Hunt back after you saw her do a little dance in the qualifier or the line beforehand with her custom fall defies and her little footies. Quite the routine-based athlete. Gets quite quiet again before that final, before they go. So the athletes can hear the beep. Emma off to a great start. One of her faster runs. Let's see if she can push towards that national record of 6.3 and a 6.547 from Emma Hunt to cruise past to the 9.283 and advance to the next round. Super good performance from Emma Hunt. We have Natalie and Lily up next. Let's see. I think both athletes have a similar PR, if I'm not mistaken. So this will be quite the close race. Both athletes, I believe, a little under 9 seconds.
At your mark.
So Natalie Gates and Lily Nguyen again on the left and right.
Ready?
And no false starts, both off to a good start. Lily a bit of a stumble at the bottom, but she is catching up. Let's see who can pull this out. Natalie with the better top and an 8.295. I think that might be a PB for her, just by her body language. I don't personally know, but good run from Natalie Gates. Lily Nguyen with these 8.7 with that little stumble at the bottom. So still a good performance for her. Both athletes quite happy. Sarah hug at the bottom. Now we have Piper Kelly, our Olympian for the for the Paris 2024 Olympics, and Michaela on the right. Piper with the routine of having music in for her run. Also using that towel. Some athletes use footies, or like Emma uses the little disposable footies. Some people use little shoes, like large slide-on shoes to put over their feet. So different methods to keep your shoes clean. Piper with a good start. Oh, and a slip! Not getting off the ground, and this is going to be a close one as Piper attempts to catch up, and she's getting there, but Michaela will close it out in 9.141 seconds. What an upset. Incredible run from Michaela, keeping herself together and pushing it forward after Piper had an unfortunate slip at the first Tomoa skip, as that move is known, when you go from the first one to skipping out left the hold and doing just a more straight motion invented by the famous Boulder Tomoa Narasaki, known as the Tomoa skip that almost every athlete, both male and female, does now. Next we have Katie Bone and Sophia Curcio. A rematch from our national team trials final, actually, only in the semis, so this will be quite the good race. Again, both athletes having different methods of keeping their shoes clean. So with the little wipe on the pants and use of those little slides. See the zoom in. Quick shout out to our sponsors, Entrepris, USA Climbing Organization, North Face, Yeti, and Intermountain Health. And quite the close race to the top, and a slip from Katie and a slip from Sophie, but she should be able to close it out in 8.529 seconds. And Katie finishes with an 11.328 seconds. Quite the close race up to the middle, then a slip from both athletes, but Sophie Curcio manages to close it out and advance. So yeah, also didn't finish, but Entrepris, Petzl, True Blue, Intermountain Health, Yeti, and North Face. We could not do it without you. Thank you guys for making our dreams come true and helping out the organization and climbing in the U.S. Definitely is very helpful to have supportive companies support speed climbing. True Blue has been great. Yeti has been funding us and gives us great little podium prizes for water bottles. And North Face, the founding partner of USA Climbing, for apparel and our team kits. So all of those incredibly important in order to host these events and allow the climbers to succeed, not only in the U.S. and domestic competitions, but on the World Cup circuit as well.
At your mark.
Zach Hammer on the left and Logan Miner on the right. Zach looking to advance to the semifinal or the quarterfinal, and Logan looking to beat him out. Good start from Zach, and he is coasting up. Let's see if he can get a new personal best, and he will finish in 5.319 seconds. Logan with a 6.103 seconds on the right, trying his best to get close to Zach, but Zach looks in great form for this competition with 2 back-to-back 5.3-second runs. His personal best is 5.03. He just set in practice a couple days ago, but great athlete, little camaraderie there. So Zach Hammer looking on fire, possibly the favorite, looking the best of anyone right now, but we'll see if that holds true and he can get a gold medal. Up next, we have Michael Hom and Ben Jennings, 2 athletes that are quite fast. Could be a close one. Again, Michael Hom, our national champion from last year, looking to bring it home after somewhat of a disappointing time at team trials this year. Not able to secure a national team spot, but he'll be starting at the World Cup, looking to prove himself and get better. He said that he wanted to run sub 5 this year, and I said, no way, I will shave my head if you do it. So he has another 2 months to do it before he turns 17, and I told him I would shave my head, which, to be honest, I really don't want to do because I don't think I can rock it as well.
Ready?
So quite the good starts from both of them, and a slip from Michael Hom, and Ben Jennings looks to close out the race in 5.193 seconds. Michael Hom obviously dissatisfied with that little bit of a slip after I said he was wanting to advance to the final rounds and get those gold medals as he did previously. Still quite the promising young athlete that will be at the World Cup next week, hopefully in the final as well, as the U.S. can have a great performance. I believe across all the disciplines, I think we're ready to show it to the world on our home floor. For our next race, we have Rafe Stokes in lane A. So the lanes are decided by the faster time of overall. So either the fastest qualifier time, or if you ran a faster time in finals, you get lane A or the left lane. Logan Schlecht in lane B with the slower time there. So Rafe Stokes looking again to advance to that podium. Logan Schlecht looking to upset him here. Rafe Stokes with a slip, and ooh, he did not have a good recovery off that. Not a good reset from Rafe Stokes after a bit of a hesitation after that slip. Again, recomposing yourself after that slip is very important, but a good run from Logan Schlecht, good composure, and he will be advancing to the next round. Still a solid performance from Rafe Stokes, but I can obviously tell he wants to do better and do more. Aiden with his run out, setting up his towel, wasting no time because that man means business. Looking to race Josh Burns, Olympian from South Africa. Aiden Goddard again, Salt Lake local, U of U collegiate climber. Josh grew up in Great Britain, South African citizen, spent, I believe, a week and so in Dallas training, and is going to spend a couple weeks in Salt Lake. Really great guy, looking to learn from some of the best here. Very receptive person, very good friend. So really want the best for him, and is a great ambassador for climbing for South Africa as well. And good starts from both athletes, pretty neck and neck, and we lose Josh on the middle. Aiden looks to complete the run, but he stops at the top. That is some bit of a bad etiquette. Really got to compose yourself and finish that run. You can't be doing that. But unfortunately, he does fortunately get the advancement despite that, going into the next round with a 7.645 after the slip and pause at the top. Josh Burns will also be at the World Cup next week, so looking to redeem himself there. It's a storyline for many of these athletes now. So now that we have the top 4 athletes of both, we will be doing a presentation. So athletes will walk out, they will announce their names, and they will be presented to the crowd. So quite the cool one. Little practice for speed climbing to give athletes a break. It is required under the both IFSC and USA Climbing Rulebook for athletes to be given at least 5 minutes between rounds to allow themselves to recover between races. So it's quite standard practice, they thought, for IFSC to just present the athletes, have them in their national team jackets at the World Cup, and kind of show off, announce their names, hype up the crowd, and all of that. Our DJ having a lot of fun. Bit of crowd here. Some cameos from some of the other athletes around Salt Lake City. Members of the national team, foreign athletes coming in for the World Cup. So in the women's, we have Emma, Natalie, Michaela, and Sophie. For the men's, we have Zach, Hammer, Ben Jennings, Logan Schlecht, and last but not least, Aiden Goddard. So you can see all the different methods of keeping your shoes clean. We have no shoes, Crocs, sandals, flip-flops, slides. Actually, nothing from Natalie, and then slides from Emma. So again, an interesting thing because speed climbing is such a low margin of error sport that anything you can do to make your run more consistent, and if that includes getting the grease off your shoes, wiping them with a towel, polishing them with a towel beforehand, and anything like that will be something that every athlete wants to do going forward, and has really caught on a lot because especially in these finals, athletes want the ability to be able to reset and know that they've done everything they can to control the controllables and get on the wall with the best mindset they can, and having clean shoes and knowing you're not going to slip because of that reason helps a lot of athletes. So, quick explanation of the format. There's 2 races for both men and women. The winner of both of those races will advance to the big final to race for silver and gold. The winner will win gold, and the loser will get the silver medal. Then the loser of each of those medals will go to a loser's bracket for the bronze medal and 4th place. So the podium will be decided through that method of the knockout format. So you can see the USA Climbing flag at the beautiful National Training Center. Really some upgrades to this facility coming soon. It's really a dream come true to have this facility, especially with a speed wall that can be used, and we can host the World Cup, and it'll just be a great time. And Salt Lake City is really becoming a hub for many reasons, but the training center is really helping. So USA Climbing has been doing a great job to set everything up with creating the best possible environment to create high-performance athletes, World Cup athletes, and eventually Olympians and Olympic medalists.
At your mark.
Emma on the left, Natalie on the right. And with a quick shoe wipe.
Ready?
Emma off to a good start. She has been blisteringly fast and incredibly consistent all through this comp, looking to close it out in 6.479 seconds. Really getting close to that national record at a consistent clip. A fall from Natalie, but still a great performance. She will be racing for that bronze medal next round. Then we have Emma advancing to the gold and silver final. Yeah, so Emma really looking to get on to both the podium and possibly a win at the World Cup. I think it would be my dream personally to win it alongside her next week at the World Cup. USA has such a great performance, or great crew here that could bring it home in all 4 disciplines. Colin, Natalia, Brooke, Jesse, all these different athletes that could have a great showing, and I think we can really kind of defend home floor next week at the World Cup. So tune into that. It'll be on the IFSC page. I believe I'll be commentating for the women's. Obviously, hopefully I'll be competing in men's. But tune into that, and it'll be a great time.
At your mark.
Michaela on the left, Sophie on the right. racing to get onto that final, and the loser will advance to the bronze medal round. Crowd quiets down. Both athletes off to a good start. Sophie is a bit ahead and looking to make some distance, about a body length ahead, and Sophie can close this race out if she can just do the nice moves, and she will in 7.647 seconds. Michaela with a 9.240 seconds, looking to recompose herself and race Natalie for that bronze medal next round. Sophie and Emma will battle for the gold medal, and then we have our men's. So then it'll be both of the bronze medals rounds will be next. So we'll see the women's small final or bronze medal race, the men's bronze medal race, and then both of the big finals after that. So Zach and Ben, one of these will advance to the gold medal final. See who that will be of these two athletes.
At your marks.
Zach from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Salt Lake local now.
Ready?
Good starts from both athletes. Zach is blistering ahead. Incredible run from Zach Kramer. Can he close it out in 5.227 seconds? Great run from Zach. 3 great runs from Zach, actually, with a 5.3, 5.3, 5.2, 5.6 from Ben, looking to close it out in the bronze medal final now. Then we have, Zach Hammer with a great performance, looking to get that gold. One more race for him to get that done, but he still has to race the winner of this race between Logan Schlecht and Aiden Goddard. Logan in lane A, again from Los Angeles. Aiden, a Utah local. Been training for 2 years now, I believe, in Utah. He's been to a couple World Cups. Pretty experienced athlete as far as races go, but we'll see who wins here. Aiden off to a bit of a better start, but Logan is catching up, and Logan takes the lead here. The last couple moves will decide it, and Aiden will take it in 5.906 seconds. Logan super close with a 6.079, so incredibly close round between the two of them. Logan will advance to the bronze final, and Aiden will go against Zachary Hammer for the silver and gold medal. We will see there who can take it home. So again, next we have our women's bronze medal race, then our men's bronze medal race, then our women's gold medal and men's gold medal. So again, we have about 5 minutes between the races that are required. So I think it'll be about 2.5 minutes now, since the women's last race was about 2.5 minutes ago. So again, just pretty good competition here. Great facilities, Salt Lake City. Leading into the World Cup, it's great practice for a lot of the athletes to be here and to be in this venue. Practicing on the actual wall is really important for a lot of these athletes. It's been open the last couple days, so I've trained it a couple times. Speed climbing, some people think it's just the same route every time, and it's just, it's going to be the same. But in a lot of cases, that's not really the case. There's a lot of other factors that go into it with the wall itself and the conditions, just like for any other climbing. If you're outdoor climbing, you want better conditions or stuff like that. So good chance to give these athletes a good opportunity to practice before the World Cup, and some of the younger athletes to compete before then, and to get some experience, to want to qualify for the national team and to go to our nationals and our team trials, to really do the best they possibly can leading up into having good speed climbing and comp climbing careers. Quick shout out to our volunteers at this comp as well. They've done great at organizing and making this event the best possible it could be for the athletes and everyone coming out to support them. You can see the lead wall as well. Next, they have set, I believe, other routes for training on it now, since we are not hosting a lead event at the World Cup. We'll be hosting Boulder, which the bouldering wall is just right behind me in the actual training center building, and we have the speed and lead walls out only during the summer. Unfortunately, we can only have them between April and maybe October is about the best we can do, because Salt Lake weather is too snowy. All right, now we have our women's bronze medal race. We have Michaela and Natalie. Only one of them can take home a medal, and the other will get into that 4th place spot. Both athletes, I believe, have not podiumed at a North American Cup Series event before, so looking to take home their first between the two of them. Both athletes looking composed, chalking up, making sure there's no aspects that can make them slip going into this race. So again, this race and 3 more races will be occurring. And Natalie off to a good start, a bit of a head. Michaela with a little stumble at the bottom, but we can see if she can close it out. It's about 3 more moves left, and she will close it out in an 8.579 or 8.578 performance. I will not give her an extra 1,000th. She deserves every bit of the actual time. Great performance from her, incredibly consistent, so she totally deserves that bronze medal. Michaela with a good performance as well. 2 athletes share a hug after great performance from her. Quite the young athlete, so has a lot to look forward to in her career. Next up, we have our men's bronze medal race. Not Aiden Goddard, sorry. We have Logan Schlecht and Ben Jennings looking home to take the bronze medal. Ben, I think, has won a medal in a North American Cup Series before, if I'm not mistaken. Logan has not, to my knowledge. I think he is 16 years old, so one of his first open events. So yeah, the final bronze medal race for the men's, and then we have our women's gold medal race and men's gold medal race. So yeah, Lane A, Ben Jennings, Lane B, Logan Schlecht. So we will see who can take home the bronze medal at this North American Cup Series inaugural event for Speed 2024. So again, this is also a series like the World Cup Series is, where you gain points from each and there's an overall at the end. So even then, getting 4th place and getting bronze is still a big difference. So quite the close race. A little slip from Ben, and Logan looks to pull away with it. Can he close it out? And he will in 6.042 seconds versus a 6.334. Logan Schlecht will take home the bronze medal, his first in his young career. Quite the impressive showing from Logan Schlecht, winning and advancing in those races, keeping himself composed, and gets home the bronze. 2 athletes share a hug, and we will advance to our women's gold medal race between Emma Hunt and Sophia Curcio. Emma Hunt, our U.S. national record holder, multi-time World Cup podium, vice world champion, Olympian, Pan American vice champion, all the accolades that she could ever want, or maybe not. She could still get more, but lots of accolades for her. Sophia Curcio on the right, team trials champion, youth national champion, I believe once or twice, and looking to take home the gold and silver medal between the 2 of them. I'm off to a good start, looking really consistent. Can she close it out with 4 good races that are all sub-7? And she can with a 6.63, getting really close to that national record. And if you look at her reaction time, if she had a better reaction time, she would actually break the world record. So incredible run from Emma Hunt, looking to really get that best athlete in the world, best speed climber in the world, for the women's category. That was an incredible run from Emma Hunt and an incredible competition to take home the gold medal. Next up, we have our men's final, Aiden Goddard and Zachary Hammer. Zachary Hammer also with several good, I believe he is yet to slip in this competition. He's had 2 good qualifier runs, 5-3, 5-3, and 5-2 in this race, looking home to take home the gold medal at this North American Cup Series, going into the World Cup and Olympic Qualifier Series to join me in Paris. Aiden Goddard with his first podium guaranteed with the silver medal, looking home to dethrone Zach's perfect comp and take home the win. Can he pull off this upset right now? Both athletes compose themselves and are ready. A smile from Zach because he knows he can do it. Can he pull off another good run and complete the fairy tale or Cinderella story? Zach Hammer with a bit of a slip at the bottom and a bit of a slip. Can he come back? Aiden Goddard pulling. It'll be close to the top. And Zach Hammer will do it in 5.735 seconds to take home the gold medal. Aiden Goddard with a bit of a fall. Zach Hammer can't quite complete the perfect run, but he will take home the gold medal with a 5-3, 5-3, 5-2, and 5-7 to close it out to become our gold medalists. Zach Hammer and Emma Hunt will be our gold medalists for the 2024 North American Cup Series inaugural event for speed. Aiden Goddard, Sophia Curcio, Logan Schlecht, and Natalie will close out our podium. Quite the event here in Salt Lake City. Once again, we will have our podium presentation soon, and we will have our World Cup event next week, in which we have a lot of athletes from around the world compete here in Salt Lake City, Utah, on this very wall in just 1 week. All right, so enjoy the music being played here live by our DJ, and I will join you back in about 4 or 5 minutes for our podium presentation.
Make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Yeah, I know, when I compliment her, she won't believe me. And it's so sad to think that she don't see what I see. But every time she asks me, do I look okay? I say, when I see your face, it's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. You know, I'd never ask you to change. If perfect's what you're searching for, then just stay the same. So don't even bother asking if you look okay. No, I'll say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're
All right, so great performance from our DJ, and it is time for the podium for the Speed Final 2024 North American Cup Series. It'll be women's first. We have Natalie Gates in the bronze, Sophia Curcio in the silver, and Emma Hunt taking home the win. For the men's, we have Logan Select in the bronze, Aiden Goddard in the silver, and Zachary Hamler for the gold medal performance. You can see our world champion, Matteo Zerloni, in the back, coming here all the way from Italy, just to watch the North American Cup Series. But, we have also some Germans from the Düsseldorf, I believe, from the German national team, competing in the World Cup next week, and coming out to watch the North American Cup Series. Quite the fun event for everyone here. And so we'll have them up to the podium right now. You can see the bit of the fraternizing between all of the different athletes. Coming around, some Boulder Elite athletes can be seen in there, some foreign athletes, some of the speed climbers. Everyone here is just hanging out at the USA Climbing National Training Center. We have, I think, a couple training sessions. One of my personal favorite parts of the year for the World Cup Series is the training in Salt Lake City. Everyone loves to come out here. USA Climbing does a great job of hosting everybody. We get to train, especially for speed, to have races against some of the fastest athletes in the world. Every single guy is trying their best to show off in practice because, you know, if you beat them in practice, they get a little confidence if you do it in a comp. So one of definitely my favorite parts of the year to train at this facility and at the facility at Mill Creek, Momentum Mill Creek as well. For both speed, and I believe the Boulder Elite athletes can do incredible little spray wall sessions, and then Josh Larson will set training center blocks that are hard and challenging to all of the different athletes that want to come out and compete on them. Practice, learn from each other, and probably I would say there's nothing on the World Cup circuit year tour that is quite like the Salt Lake City World Cup, or World Cups as we've had before. I don't know if this is public information, but we want to try and host the 2027 World Championships at a new facility here. IFC is kind of going to support us. Obviously, there's a bid process to doing that, but the USA Climbing and the U.S. Olympic Committee will be pushing for the best possible training facilities in Salt Lake City leading up to the LA 2028 Olympics, where we have a lot of very exciting athletes for both bouldering and lead and speed climbing that want to be here and training for the LA 2020 Olympics, or 2028 Olympics. And we also have paraclimbing being in addition to the Paralympics there, and we have a facility that we can have specialized paraclimbing setting, which those athletes can train to be their best selves and represent the U.S. well at the 2028 Paralympic Games. So super excited to have that going and have every discipline training at the same time here in Salt Lake City, and all the different things that are adding to the city. Gyms are great, outdoor climbing is amazing. You're just a couple hours away from world-class sport climbing, world-class bouldering right here in your backyard. Little Cottonwood, Big Cottonwood Canyon, things like Hurricane, Joe's Valley, super close to Salt Lake City. So amazing spot. I'm super glad that I am living here, and everything is kind of coming together around this nexus, this hub for climbing and comp climbing. All right, it is time for our awards ceremony, starting with the women, I believe. Yeah, so quick shout out to our sponsors. As you can see on the speed banner, we have Intermountain Health, True Blue Auto Belays, Petzl, Yeti, and the North Face, our founding sponsor. Intermountain Healthcare and the Utah Sports Commission are supporting specifically this event as well. So we could not do it without any of them. They are amazing. And we have our
All right, folks. In third place, taking the bronze medal. Give it up for NACS. In second place, taking the silver medal, Sophia Curcio. And in first place, taking the gold medal and the new American record, winning the women's ski discipline. Give it up for Emma Hunt. All right, give it up one more time for our women's ski medalist. All right, y'all. Now, please welcome the men's ski medalists. In third place, taking the bronze medal, give it up for Logan Schluck.
Longshot with the bronze, doing a little interesting little dance there too. And with the jump on the podium is a risky move after Natalie Gates knocked it over, but he seemed to do it well. Zachary looking at something. And again, our gold medalists from Ann Arbor, Michigan, living in Salt Lake City, Zachary Hammer, scaring me to death with those podium jumps. Need him to be alive and healthy for a wonderful performance next week in the World Cup. Possibly looking forward to get on that podium as well. Obviously, he can't win because I'm away. But there again, our men's podium. Thank you so much for watching the 2024 North American Cup Series here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Tune into the World Cup tomorrow or next week for both bouldering and speed. Thanks so much for watching again. I'm Sam Watson, and